Pick a card, what you're leaving, and your next best chapter. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Please pause if you need more time to choose. Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. If you chose pile number 1, Long Bubby Susie with shame, the number 19, this message is for you. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for stopping in. If you are a repeat offender, thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you that are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone finds exactly what it is that they are seeking. So you chose the number 19. Now, it was interesting when I was reading about this goddess. One thing that they were talking about is they call her Long Bubby Susie because of her long breasts. And so we're talking definitely about things that you are leaving behind, things that you are basically expelling from your energy at this point in time. It could be all the way on the way out right now, or very soon to come. But in the book, it says that her breasts are filled with milk and poison. And that's really quite interesting to me. So I'm not going to get into, what it is that you're leaving. I don't want to make it a positive reading. If you guys think differently, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to. But long story short, I get the feeling that this could have to do with like motherhood or parenting, just the way that she is holding her breasts. It could also have to do with your body. The word is shame here. So maybe you are ashamed about parenting, or the type of parenting you received, or the type of mothering that you have done. Male, female doesn't make a difference. And, we all have different qualities about us. So we could all be nurturers and we could all be providers at different points in time. So this feeling, this energy, this feeling blocked, this feeling kind of like I've got my arms crossed, I have nowhere to go with it. This feeling like this is the root, the bane of my existence. Maybe perhaps that's why you've been feeling kind of like held back and insecure. And I say that because this red right here is a nod to the root chakra, right? This is how we provide for ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, our room, could be your room, the roof over your heads, shelter, jobs, things like that. But there's a certain amount of shame affiliated with, what's been holding you back, I'm going to say. And I hear, don't be parading your business out in the open. And I'm not going to parade your business out in the open, but what I will say is that it's going to be really good for you to have that freedom from things that confine and constrain you. Whether you're talking to a professional therapist or whatnot. Pardon me. And before I started this reading, I was not coughing and clearing my throat. So I feel like a lot of you guys have this energy where you want to stuff that and don't want to deal with it in the least, right? I get that. You're going to be a lot happier and a lot more content if you allow things to just kind of purge them. Yeah. So I feel like this is the energy that you are leaving because, with the milk in the breast, that is to nurture, but also the milk and the poison in the breast, obviously to harm and to poison. Good grief. So sorry. So we are leaving this energy behind and we are entering this energy right now. Pile number 1, the House of Oshun. Interesting. Oshun is fearless love. Look at her. How gorgeous is this? I mean, there's no shame in this game. She is complete contrast to this other goddess right here. And I'm going to say that you have a lot of admirers, 3 in particular, that could be kind of poking their eyes about, trying to check you out or talk to you. Peacock feathers. This can allude to, trying to make gestures towards you. And I feel like you're going to start accepting more, like your body, your image, even where you came from, things like that, your roots. there's a lot of emotion behind you, and I feel like maybe you could have like that purging currently or very soon, so that you just get rid of a lot of emotion affiliated things that have kept you trapped and things like that. And it's going to be fearless love. I love how she is laying in a bed that's yellow, that talks to me, excuse me, that talks about your solar plexus and what it is that you desire, including the sunflowers. You know, this is all like positive things. I see the breaking of dawn right here. And I have that feeling that, you know, the worst is behind me type of thing with the number 25. The 2, I feel like this is a lot about like balance. And the 5 is a lot of changes, a lot of ebbs and flows and fluctuations and things like that. So then you get the 7, which I feel like that puts you really close to spirit. You can have really beautiful hair, unusual hair, different hair, going back to your natural hair, whether it's natural color. For those of us that are older, embracing the silver and becoming a silver fox or whatever you want to call it. And for those of us that have you know, different textured hair and things like that, just finding a way to wear it naturally that you are really happy with. Maybe you found a new hair care routine that really does it for you, and you're like, I have no idea I even had curls, look at this, and or whatever the case may be. So something about your hair you are embracing. Now the fact that she's like, you know, embraced in gold right here, enveloped in gold. And I feel like she's got a really fierce like necklace here. I love that because I feel like this is you speaking your truth. And being comfortable in your own skin is the biggest message I'm getting here. Also being confident and having like radiant skin. Maybe you're undergoing like a new skin routine, things like that. Or changing your diet to allow healing of your skin and things like that. This lighting is killing me for real. Okay, hang on one second. I'm like, this is what we have to work with, okay? So show me what I need to see for pile number 1. We're leaving behind that shame. Yep. And what? Look. We have the 3 of Cups. This could be possibly about a reunion. This could be celebration. This could be happy hour. This could be enjoying the moment, taking pleasure and savoring very simple things. Whether it's like, I heard a glass of milk. Well, we are talking earlier about the breast, but I digress. I'm going to say that, you know, whatever it is that you are doing currently, I feel like you're taking a moment to smell the roses, smell the eucalyptus, really enjoy yourself. Wherever it is that self is at this point in time, that's going to be really, really important, okay? And I do feel like you have some friends with you or people that are supportive of you, and I love that for you. Then I have the 6 of Cups, and this is a really interesting little panda. So 6 of Cups really talks to me about kind of remembering our past or having some nostalgia, and it's really curious to look at his little beanie cap with the little ears. I love it. I think that, you know, he's looking at the cat and he's like, hey, I want to be a cat too. I'm a cat. So maybe you're trying on different hats, you're trying on like different personas, or you're trying on different things that work for you. It could be like, okay, I could be the moment here. Yeah, that didn't really fit. Maybe it's like volunteering or trying some different, you know, groups or meetups and things like that, and finding, okay, and ciphering through like, this isn't me, this is me and whatnot. But I feel like just even with the kitty looking up at the panda, and it is a card of nostalgia, of remembering things when they were like sweet and innocent, and that playfulness, and that I don't know, the ability to be in the moment and not even thinking that there might be another moment that's not like this type of thing. So this can allude to someone from the past coming back, or having nostalgia regarding someone from the past, or new people that remind you of feeling this way. And it could be feeling like safe and comfortable, safe in your own skin, that kind of a thing. Let's get a little bit more energy. Pile number 1. If you're liking these kind of readings, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, I am posting daily reads. If you guys don't know, now you know. They're little daily vibes. I'm trying to keep them under like 4 minutes, but sometimes I get carried away. 9 of Pentacles here. Yep. So even if you're not single, this is my quintessential single card, but even if you're not single, I feel like you're enjoying yourself. This is my high maintenance card, by the way. And some people can say, well, she looks like high maintenance. I'm like, man, you don't know if she went to a thrift store and bought all that and like decked herself out because she's that confident. You don't know if she pulled the drapes down and made it herself. Pardon me. But regardless, I hate the word high maintenance because I feel like that implies that somebody else is providing for you. I'm like, okay, I feel like this woman is very fearless and self-sufficient and not ashamed or embarrassed about it. And I feel like this is your energy currently, is that, or very soon to come, like I would say within the next 9 days or so. That you're going to be feeling like you can embody your whole self, and there's not going to be any fragments. Even this panda is kind of like leaning casually, and these two are very posed similarly, are they not? This is about being confident. You could be somebody who loves taking pictures, or you could be a model, a photographer. You could have like really different hobbies that people are not accustomed to, that they find quite unusual. Because with the Nine of Pentacles, there's something to be said about the Falcon and traditional tarot, which is, Falconeer back in the times that was like reserved mostly for men. And it was a different, skill or hobby at the time. But I feel like this is just stating, that I provide for myself. And with the bamboo and the lush background, I feel like there's been great planning, great strategizing. I feel like you're starting to enjoy the fruits of your labor and that you're comfortable. It's not like you're, begging, well, I need somebody to fund me, This queen, definitely, this goddess doesn't look like she's waiting for anybody to set up a GoFundMe account at all. And likewise with this panda, it's like, what are you talking about? I take care of myself. So I love this energy for you. Even if you are married or attached to someone, I definitely feel like there's a strong air of independence about you. And I feel like that's going to be more attractive to your partner as well, because when two independent people come together, you actually, I feel like, have a little bit more to talk about. Plus, you're not going to have dynamics of power struggles, such as like, well, you live under my roof, kind of like being back at mom and dad's, right? Or, I provide everything for you, and this is what I expect. So you're not somebody who is contingent upon like other people and what they give or what they provide. I feel like, you would be in a partnership that both of you guys, or at least you're very much standing within your own power and content about it. Bottom of the deck, what's up? King of Wands. So I love this for you. I feel like this could be a counterpart or soon to be counterpart. Pardon me. Look at the color explosion behind this little panda. These have got to be like the funnest deck that I have. Yeah, sorry. So we have his little like crown here, and unusual necklace. And this could be somebody who is, I heard native, but embracing their roots. They could be somebody who's really, really interested in crystals. They could make jewelry maker, whatever the case may be. But I feel like this is a creative counterpart, somebody who is a mover and a shaker, who doesn't suffer fools at all, somebody who's willing to take risks. But also this could be somebody who is making a decision, because I have here the Two of Wands, the King of Wands, sorry, but it reminds me of the Two of Wands with the two wands right here. Duh, redundant, sorry. But this is talking about like making a choice. So maybe this King of Wands is trying to make a choice between two people. And I feel like you're unbothered. You're like, okay, well, choose me or don't. Like, your loss or your gain, have your pick. But I am unaffected. I am still going to be within my power. I'm going to be happy regardless. And it's not like this person would not add to your life, but I feel like your happiness is not dependent upon whatever they choose one way or another. And I love that energy for you. And the reason why I'm saying that this could be somebody trying to choose, because of course with the Two of Wands right here, two things this king is passionate about, but I have the Four of Swords here. And so with the Four of Swords, this could be about recovering from heartache, heartbreak, and being as this is like the masculine side you're reading. Let's see if I can even prop that up. What? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say that this right here tells me that somebody has been ruminating. Okay. The Four of Swords, they've been taking a time out. Even with this book here, they could have been like journaling, studying, reading, really making assessments, even self-inspection, would be something that would be a big thing. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with heartache, actually. So because, you know, with the Four of Swords in traditional tarot, the Three of Swords is pointing down, or at least it's hovering above the bed. Three of Swords talks about heartache, heartbreak. But with the Four, this is like, okay, I have the sword ready, and I can cut any pain down. I can, you know, basically cut it out. But this is like healing and thinking about what transpired in the past. So if you have somebody that you had like a serious breakup over, don't be surprised if you're single, if this person wants to make an appearance, because, you know, with the Six of Cups and, but anyways, oh gosh, I'm going to have to take this too. Look, I'm not trying to make this into a love reading at all, but look, my friend, pound number one, I'm all aggressive. The Lovers, we have the Lovers here. This is about making a choice. So I'm like, even if you're partnered, I feel like somebody could be coming in from the past, and it's like the ghost from Christmas Past saying, hey, remember me. Remember me. And yeah, trying to really talk with you, trying to gain clarity, trying to communicate, trying to give clarity. But it's interesting because this panda has a sword to their lips, okay? And it's almost like, I'm defensive. I have a lot of things on my mind. I could have a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness even. Even the eyes look sad in this panda. Well, panda's eyes look sad sometimes, right? But I'm going to say that it's like, okay, this sword has been difficult. It's like these words, difficult, communication is very difficult if you haven't received any communication from this person. And I feel like if this would ring a bell already, if it's for you. If it's not, I totally get it. It's fine. You can check out other readings. But with the Lovers card, this indicates to me there is a choice. You might have to make a choice between two people, or this is saying that this person is trying to, unbeknownst to you, by the way, make a choice between you and one other person. They're trying to study and really get like the advantage. So strategy, right? They're trying to manifest you. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't expect that. So yeah, but this is about manifesting what it is that you want. And this is having all the tools in order to manifest and bring this about. And even kind of like, okay, you want to talk manifesting? Let's do this. I can do this too. That kind of a thing. Oh gosh. At the end of your reading, I have the Two of Cups, you guys. This is so freaking cute. I think that, look, I feel like this little bear is blushing like, oh, stop. You know, I was fine without you. And this one's like, you missed me, that kind of a thing. So Two of Cups right here indicates like a really strong friendship, partnership, relationship. I think these are two little tiny butterflies here. So a lot can have happened because I feel like this is something from the past. If it's not a relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic. It could be bringing back an old bestie or somebody that you had lost contact with, right? So whatever the case may be, I feel like each of you have like this Holy Grail cup, and it's like, wow, this is something that, you know, this is like me in a cup, basically. That's a weird way to say it. But basically, this is like my body, heart, and soul. This is like what I dream about, what I'm excited about, this is how my lingo is. And your connection is such that there's sometimes even like the beginning of a sentence and you can finish each other's sentences, or with a look you can communicate like a whole book. You know, it's like, you know each other so well that you can finish each other's paragraphs and things like that. So I love that for you. Super, super cute. Even with the pink flowers right here, this alludes to love. And I feel like that nostalgia, that innocent part of love. Before we got into, you know, the grown-up stuff, the stuff of the negative stuff, okay? The having to choose between two people and plain people and things like that. So this is a very beautiful connection, should you want it. Yeah, and I just looked at the bottom of the deck right here. I feel like here with the Eight of Swords right here, you've been all up in your head. Even this panda's like with his head down, kind of trying to look from a different perspective. So it's like the Eight of Swords with a Hangman combined almost. This is saying that I've been in my head for a long, long time. Even the leaves are gone. But I've searched and I found some leaves still, that kind of a thing. And yeah, undergoing a dark night of the soul, I'm hearing possibly both of you could have. And with the Ten of Cups, this is like having my people and my family together. And again, family can be platonic, it can be romantic. It is for you to interpret according to your story. If this doesn't fit, don't try to make it. So with that, much love to you. And until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number two. My name is Crystal, Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading, pile number two. You've chosen Sekhmet. I may or may not have said that correctly. We're going to pretend I say everything correctly. This is a wounded healer, and we've often heard about this, especially if you've been around like reading tarot, listening to tarot, anything like that in a spiritual community. With the number 15, by the way, the wounded healer. Yes. So those of you that are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. Well, warm welcome to you. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping in. I do hope everybody receives exactly what it is that you came here for. So I'm not going to dwell a lot on what it is that you are leaving, but this wounded healer really just, wow. When I read it, this really gives me a lot of vibes of like the high priestess, by the way. So the number 15, the number 1 is like finding self, personal, putting even your best foot forward the way this person is right now. But the number 5, a lot of changes, fluctuations. There's a connection to the moon, to the night, to the cosmos. There's a connection to balance also, and crossing a portal. And we will talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. Yeah, I feel like you've traveled a lot in such a way that you as a wounded healer, I feel like you provide comfort and love, and I heard sustainability. I don't really know how, but you provide a lot to your community, and that can mean friends, family, that can mean coworkers. I feel like people come to you for comfort, for guidance maybe. And yeah, for healing, for sure. You could be somebody who does a lot of like Reiki, or like my friend Rebecca, she is an acupuncturist, and she specializes in Chinese medicine, and I think that is so incredibly, she's phenomenal. Yeah, but you can undergo like acupressure, reflexology, massage therapy, energy Reiki. You could, what do they call that? With a purple flame? Saint Germain with a purple flame. Well, anyways, you could be any of those things, and maybe even a little bit of all. But definitely people come to you for that comfort. Now, the one thing that I just want to address before we move on to the good stuff right here is that in all of this, you yourself have had a lot of pain, and you've not taken time out to go ahead and take care of yourself, your pain, that area, which in anyone else you would have said, hey, come to me, let me help you. I'll walk you through it if I can, or I'll be here for you. I'll be your support. I'll try hypnotherapy with you if you like, or whatever, right? When we are the wounded healer, we wind up being incredibly versatile on healing modalities and things like that. And it doesn't have to look like Western medicine, putting a Band-Aid on everything, no. But in this case, pile number 2, I do feel like there is something about you that you have just placed maybe Band-Aids on, or put yourself on the back burner. You're like, okay, me last, me last, me last, and everybody else that needs help, let me help you right now. That kind of a thing. And I really well resonate with this. Now, the one thing that you want to really consider, and maybe take some time out to journal and heal for yourself, is that you are the wounded healer, but you've taken 0 time out to heal yourself. And so this wound tends to fester and get worse. And, when you think about things like, gosh, what is that? I just lost it in my brain. My brain lost it. That thing in the hospital where you go into where it gets into your blood system and it just goes south. Well, anyways, the point of the matter is that if you haven't healed yourself, you are like continually being the martyr and poisoning yourself. And that's just not healthy. And that's not where we want to be, because you're like at this point where you're starting to realize, wow, I have a deep connection to the cosmos. I have this ability to heal, but you're not only able to heal other people. I feel like just your presence, just your comfort, a shoulder to lean on, a hug, a handshake, or even taking the time to look at somebody in the eye and really listening to them and not interrupting, and having that heart that you care could be very, very healing for people, by the way. I'm sure you know this. But if you don't have that same mercy towards yourself and take the time out that you need and do things that really help to heal yourself, such as, for example, balancing your positive and negative polarity, accepting that, yeah, I too have been wounded and I need to take a little bit of time out for me. And it's okay to take time out for myself. And you are not, insert the town that you live in. I am not LA's healer or whatever. I have the the need and the right to take care of myself, and I'm not a martyr. We're not going to be in the world's Guinness record of martyrdom for any damn reason, right? So I'm going to say, yep, and you have a battle with that. So look at all this red. The root chakra. I feel like being the healer, the wounded healer, is something that really gives you a lot of comfort. And I'm not going to go too into it. I know we're 5 minutes into it already. We're going to get to good stuff right now. But look at all the controversy and trying to really heal thyself when we're talking about that even. I feel like you might think it's selfish, that being unselfish means that you sacrifice for yourself over and over, for other people, I mean, and don't really address yourself, and that's how maybe you get your self-esteem, because the red is about your root chakra, your stability. But also, Sekhmet looks very royal here, and it could be like, you know, this is what I was meant to do. And I feel like you're partially correct. So there is a need to go within, get down and dirty with yourself, whatever that means, and go ahead and kind of purge these things that make you think that you have to really sacrifice. You know, it's like, set yourself on fire to make other people warm. Put yourself on fire to keep other people happy. Things like that. So this is ending, I feel. And it's going to be a great relief. And once you actually do embrace it, because I think that it'll be a little bit difficult for you to get out of that energy, you're going to see so much growth and so much peace. And why do we say that? Because what's coming for you is the 7 sisters with creativity. Now, this is pretty phenomenal. Look at this. So number 12, the number 1, you know, your persona, it could be your first house, how you come across other people, pardon me. But also it's like, look at all the red above her head and the yellow too. And I feel like this alludes to a lot of creativity, a lot of stability. I feel like you're going to start doing a lot of different things. And it could be with, you know, 7 different people, 7 different relatives, or you have 7 different skills. And I feel like that's more, for most of us, that's what it's going to be. So if you can kind of diversify a little bit in order to get yourself into that creative flow. I know last week I was kind of, I don't know, burnt out and doing readings and working full time and doing personals and things like that. I took some time to make some necklaces, and I bead as well. So that was a lot of fun as well. And I feel, you know, better. I feel better. So take time for you. But the creativity is coming. It's flowing. Most of all, it's going to grow. And your creativity is going to provide great abundance. It's going to provide shelter. It's going to provide things for other people to look at. You could be a painter, singer, songwriter, a songstress, meow. You could be somebody who's training models how to pose properly, like a photographer. I mean, there's so much. You could be somebody who's making like dresses or outfitting other people, or, you know, whatever this is. I think that it's going to really get you like in a happy place and stable. And also it's going to further your growth, because I feel like you're going to feel a lot more calm about everything and a lot more joy. Now with her eyes closed, I feel like there's need to tap in and close your eyes and just follow your intuition. A lot of us get really concerned with, wow, if this is, you know, if I could do this and if it would make me money, then I want to do it and pursue it. And, you know, I think I'm an entrepreneur, I don't know, like at heart. And so I'm always thinking, I'm like, you know, well, I can do this and I could sell that. And I'm constantly thinking about like the hustle, the long haul. But what I do forget is that I'm a human being, not a human doing. And I have to remind myself constantly. It's like, who said you have to be productive 24/7, that everything that you touch has to be, quote, productive, right? Tap into your creativity. If you enjoy singing and nobody else does, well, that's their fault. It's gonna be their problem. Oh my gosh, look at this lighting. It's horrible. I apologize. But look at that card. It's gorgeous. So pile number 2, moving on. I'd like to know a little bit more about creativity here. What is coming for pile number 2, please? Pile number 2. 3 of Wands, something that you've been waiting on, something you've been working on for quite some time. I see a bunch of crystals right here. So you could be somebody who actually reads crystals for other people. Like you can read what's going on in people's lives, like you know, like a bone caster, somebody who throws bones and can read you and things like that. You could be somebody who does that, or you heal with crystals, because this is about the wounded healer healing thyself, right? Bottom of the deck, the star. This is something that you've had dreams about for a long, long time, by the way. Focus. focus, darling. Okay, so this is saying that whatever appears so far away, like that star, when you wish upon a star, that creativity in your dream, maybe you feel like, wow, I can take some singing classes and I can do this. And for example, another thing would be like, for me, I've always wanted to play the cello. I think I can play the cello. I've never, realistically, any classes, but I'm still pretty overconfident, okay? But it doesn't make a difference. Even if I get a hold of like a cello and it makes me happy, and it hurts people's ears, well, they don't have to listen. They can, keep it moving. It shouldn't bother you. But do things for the fun of it and allow for that joy and that creativity to come. So I feel like it's going to really unfold and manifest in ways that you never thought about. I see a lot of prosperity and abundance here. And yeah, I think you will be very, very happy. But this is not like pie in the sky or simply daydreaming. This is how you're going to manifest and bring things closer to you. So tell me this bear does not look like they're posing. They're like, what's up? I'm posing. So 9 of Wands, pile number 2, you could be a little bit defensive about this. You're like, okay, come at me, bruh. Like, I have one more wand, and I've been, sometimes like maybe you were made fun of. Maybe people said, you can't sing, you're writing it. Yeah, they're okay. Or I don't get your form of art, and I know that, like me personally, people don't get me a lot, and that's fine. Like, this stuff brings me joy. Pardon me. And so I feel like you do you, enjoy yourself, and don't focus so much on the self-protection, because really in the end people are focused on themselves and what they are doing. They don't have time to really most people don't anyways, to mess with you and try to figure out what it is that you're doing or even criticize. So we have the Death card. Something is definitely ending, and I feel like this ending is the battle with self, the need to make things perfect, and the need to please other people, the need to always be productive and have it be something that it's going to be financially beneficial or aesthetically perfect or whatever the case may be. You're just going to do it for the joy of doing, and if it comes out wrong, you're like, oh, well, that was a bust, but that was a lot of fun. This could be like a painting class. My coworkers and I were planning on to take this class. It's like paint and sip, and so I feel like that's going to be an activity that will bond us even more together, and we're pretty supportive of one another and things like that. But I feel like we're putting a little bit of work into it. Why shouldn't we spend it's our second family. We spend most of our time at work, so yeah. Anyways, there's that. But what's leaving right now is this defensiveness, this guardedness, this, well, if it doesn't give me exactly, if I'm not an opera singer, the minute I open my mouth, then I'm done, and don't come for me, because that defensiveness. I think that you are, yes, that you are done with that. You are done with the judging of yourself. And once you lay down those burdens and those expectations that, what opera singer do you know that never practiced or never took classes? Get out of here with that. But honestly, pile number 2, if that's you, I feel for you. I just saw the number 1313 on my camera, because my brain works like that, and I know better. And it's kind of like a joke between me and, I guess, spirit. I'm like, come on, you could perform with the cello and be like freaking amazing. I'm like, yeah, for spirit, maybe. Nobody else though. But the 10 of Pentacles says that the money is going to follow. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your creative pursuits, your passions. Do things as you see fit. Don't really listen to people's feedback or advice. I mean, nothing new is created by listening to haters for the most part, And I don't know. I mean, it's okay to allow things to evolve. I think about clothing and things like that. And when they don't get a great response, they're like, well, that style kind of sucked. Let me just, try something else. And it's an evolution. It's something that you start out with like a basic, okay, I got pants on. And then, years down the road, after creativity, insert it here, right? Utilizing different ribbons and different sewing techniques and different even needles for your sewing machine and whatever, different embellishments. I feel like this is going to bring about a mastery that you never really necessarily saw coming, or you never even thought how all of these 7 things minimum, right? We're talking about 7 sisters, would be strung together in order to produce something that would actually be financially beneficial. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is a concern for you, or it is a habit. Like, honestly, it's a habit for me. So we need to get more into like that juiciness of just creating for the sake of just enjoying ourselves, right? And that zen word just feels good. And if people don't like it, well, they can click off like this video. But you know, somebody will, and for sure somebody won't, and that's okay. What else do we have for a pile? Oh yeah, look. With the Tower, I'm gonna say that, oh, wow. I feel, okay, I heard somebody snap. So I feel like you're going to snap. With the Tower, this is about building on a faulty foundation. This is about allowing people to chime in, even asking, like, people that love to give you underhanded comments, by the way. Yeah, like, that dress looks great on you for your size, that kind of a thing. Backhanded comments, whatever. I feel like you are done with that. I feel like you've given your power that way, by the way. And you're not doing it. With the Tower, I think that people are going to be freaking out at, like, you know, they're even going to say, like, you snap. Well, he snapped, and they no longer asked for my guidance. They no longer this, they no longer that. But really, it was built on a faulty foundation of giving the illusion that this other person had power over you, over your creativity, over it is that you are meant to do, over, because we started with the wounded healer, right? Even the type of healer that you are, they want to take credit for you. And I feel like with this snapping off, it's like you are done with building on faulty foundations, on asking people that don't know their butthole from the ground. I heard, sorry, but that's what I heard. I'm just repeating. Right? And I think that there's going to be a lot of gossip and a lot of much ado about nothing, because right here, this little bear is blindsided, and now there's, like, you know, fire all across them, across this little panda, and that's going to be a source of people talking. But I will tell you, pile number 2, you have the Wheel of Fortune, so you don't care. Look at you grinning into the camera, eating your lollipop, right? Facing things head on, and knowing that everything ebbs and flows. And right now you're at the point where, with the number 10, the Wheel of Fortune literally says that things are getting better for you, that you have the ability now to focus on the center of this wheel, so that when the wheel turns, you're, number one, not getting nauseous, you're not up and downing emotionally all the time. I feel like you are staying more towards the center. And also I feel like with this right here, this almost looks like a web, even though it's like you know, things to keep this ride going. But I feel like you're off that ride. You're no longer the ride and die of people who want to shade you. You're no longer the ride and die for people who want to control you and things like that. And you're no longer self-sacrificing and the martyr for anybody who has that energy towards you. I feel like with this pile, there's been a lot of, like, I desire to control you and I'm used to it kind of a thing. So you're taking that power back. With the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like you're going to have, like, some endings. It's going to put you in so much more of a peaceful place. And I feel like with this, it's like the white clouds parting. I love this, like, negative space here. And the sky from beyond, clear skies are, like, coming for you, coming to you. Yeah, but you're having the ability to look at things in a more stable way, a lot more logically. Also with the blue, I feel like that is a nod towards speaking your truth, and that is going to improve, okay? You know, the more you mature in this energy of taking your own, I don't know, taking your own advice and your own creativity, being okay with it. Yeah, so with the Sun card right here, this is like, yes, 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 definitely do that. Things are improving. And I do feel like people actually look and admire you. You might have, you know, a handful of haters. Typically, those are going to be, for this reading, I feel like those are people that are, like, close to you. Could be even sisters, stepsisters, or people that consider themselves to be like your mentors, and they could be, you know, be busy throwing shade instead of really, yeah, with the Judgment card, instead of, like, looking at what it is that they themselves can do. And that's really what's leading. You're not even gonna care. You're like, throw shade all you want. The sun is shining here and things are improving for me and things like that. So you're not going to bother yourself with this energy, because you've already made a judgment that you are the wounded healer and that you are going to take time to heal, whatever that means for you. If it's a time out, if it is a trip, I heard, to the Bahamas, I don't know your life, right? If it is, you know, playing with color and indulging in fabrics and sewing, and or joining a singing group, whatever the thing is, swing dance. I mean, do your thing and watch your own life heal and blossom. I love this energy for you. Pile number 2, if you enjoy this kind of reading, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. And the last words I want to tell you is that, you know, just be sure that you are your biggest fan. You have a lot of support, not only from people around you, your community especially, but I feel like you have a lot of support from those on the other side. And you are indeed a candle for those people that sometimes can't find the matches and can't find the candle for themselves, right? So just make sure you are finding the matches and candles for yourself. And with that, I will leave you. Thank you so much. Much love to you. Till next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Crystal with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, if you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for stopping back. I really do appreciate the support. And for those of you new to my channel, thank you so much for coming by. Do hope that all of you guys receive exactly what it is that you came here for. So we are reading about what is leaving, what is currently leaving, and what is it that you are welcoming, basically, okay? I haven't titled this reading thus far. I'm trying different ways because my brain gets bored, and I knew the gist of how I want to do it, but the title eludes me. So we're just going to go with the energy. You chose Medusa, the number 23. And when I first pulled these cards, my heart just kind of dropped. I'm like, I'm trying to do something fun, something uplifting for the collective. I really didn't want to dive super deep because I know that's not everybody's jam, right? Sometimes we just need encouragement. I do have channels I personally listen to that aren't very deep. They're a little bit surfacey so that I can kind of get relief from my own deep thoughts anyways, or life in general, right? But you chose this beautiful card, Medusa, and we're going to address it just for a moment here. Now we have the number 23, the number 2. You could have been juggling a lot of things. And, you know, if you're familiar with the story of Medusa, this is kind of a heavy topic, and I'm not extremely proficient to explain it to you. But I will say that with Medusa, you know, this was somebody that was serving, I think it was a high priest or high priestess. And basically this high priestess got upset with her because Medusa was incredibly beautiful, and she was, you know, just giving. I don't want to say perfect, but she then was she had her feet held to the fire because of it. And long story short, she wound up, you know, turning into Medusa with all the snakes. And if you look at her, she turned to stone, but she suffered a lot. This goddess right here has suffered a lot. So you could be coming from, yeah, this is like the triple goddess, or the phases of the moon also be something that's very important to you. But you could have a lot of rage from the past. This could be a lot of SA from the past, right? The sexual A that apparently it's with the YouTube police. We can't really talk about apparently, but I'm gonna say that, you know, because of all this indigo, this purple right here, I feel like you have really just ascended. I feel like you have grown, you have made your peace, if there is such a thing, right? Because at this point, Medusa is like, now if you look at me, I can turn you to stone type of thing. And maybe you have like RBF base, and I actually resemble that. No shame in that game. But people could say like, wow, you're scary. And I've heard, I think this week alone, that I looked scary, or that they were scared of me, or something to that effect, like 3 times. So it was just having like open and honest communication with people around me, and that was just really interesting to hear. So you could be somebody like that as well, and perhaps you are just leaving a time and an era where you felt like there was nothing on the ground for you, nothing growing, nothing glowing. I heard where you had to be defensive and hold up this Medusa medallion as a shield. You know, hold up like an RBF base is a self-protective mechanism. I know that my face says a lot, and a lot of times when I'm uncomfortable, unfamiliar places, or I just don't want to be approached, I put on my best RBF face. It's not nice, but I'm working on that. So I just don't want, like, I just don't want people approaching me, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So you could be somebody like that. So I'm going to say that this is a wound in you, yeah, that you are working on healing, okay? I just happened to glance down while I was talking. So we have the High Priestess right here. And I'm not surprised. But with the Medusa, you could have undergone a lot of things. You could have been, again, abused. You could have been in compromising positions that other people put you in, that due to no fault of your own. And you've had to deal with the ramifications thereof. You could have been blamed for things like that. I personally know. And I said I wasn't going to get too deep, and here we are. But, you know, I know somebody who endured SA as well in my family. And the first thing out of the adults' mouths, or one of the adults, is, you know, why did you let that happen? Or it's your fault, or, you know, there's blaming and shaming. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You could have experienced all of those things. And I feel like in the end, you had to be your best friend, your own advocate. But in the process, I feel like you have had to be somebody also who freezes people, I feel like, at a glance, in order to really kind of deflect and get rid of energy that you didn't want. Maybe you just weren't ready for it, and so on and so forth, okay? But I feel like a lot of that is transmuting and changing for you to the point where you feel solid. Even look at this blue tunic. It's incredibly beautiful, whatever she's wearing. I feel like there's a regality about you with all the indigo in the back. I feel like you're starting to speak from a place not only of truth, because, oh, you're gonna love that, I just said it. But anyways, the next card that I pulled for you, I feel like you're speaking from a place also from spirit, like spirit speaking truth and utilizing your experiences so that they are not, you know, wasted. When somebody undergoes so much pain like that, I feel like there always has to be a lesson to be learned some way, somehow, even if we've been greatly wronged, right? Like this person has. And so with the number 3, I feel like you have people around that maybe want to collaborate with you or giving you help, like with a platform. And I can think of my, you know, dear new friend Helen with Eye of the Serpent, that she's just really encouraged and helped me in that way. And I just really appreciate that. But maybe people encouraging you to have a platform that you can actually speak on or team up with, because 3 is collaboration. 3 is, let's all work together. Let's make this bigger and better, because it's not about us anymore. This is about the collective. This is about healing. This is about healing other people as well. This is about a mission that's even greater than what we think it is. Yeah. And so this is, I feel like, a new collaboration, right, that seems to come from the clouds. And yeah, and it can also provide you with a way that, because this guy is eating the eucalyptus, or is it bamboo? I think it's bamboo. But it can provide a way for you to even put more food on the table, or, you know, like if you're a tarot reader, extra readings, or if you're a singer, you could get some side gigs, or if you play music, you could be somebody that gets hired to be a cellist for special occasions, like intimate occasions, people having romantic dinners, or even people that are crossing over to the other side that need extra comfort and peace, whatever the case may be. Now, I definitely feel like you are incredibly in tune. I do feel like you could be very, very intimidating, by the way. And I feel like you have made so many changes that even at this point, Medusa's not afraid of the snakes all around. She's like, what? I wear them on my own head. Why would I be afraid of a snake, right? And so this is all metaphorically speaking, but I feel like your waters go deep. You are a very deep person. You are not shallow. And even with this gorgeous necklace right here, your throat chakra could be adorned. I feel like this is spirit acknowledging that whatever it is that you're speaking, if it's coming from a higher place in order to really help other people, that it is incredibly honored. And even in just telling your story, right? Simply telling our story so that we too can heal, that is going to be incredibly important for you as well. But you're not wrong to feel rage. Pile number 2, if this is your story, I just want to say that I'm incredibly sorry if that happened to you, and I feel like you had no one to go to, and people turned a blind eye. And You know, and I feel like that's just a situation where there's a lot of denial around you, but that is not your problem. So if you need to rage, if you need to do whatever it is that you do, if you need to, you know, get counseling, whatever, I feel like do it for yourself for sure. But I feel like Spirit is providing a balm for your soul with all of this indigo on top, with the cycles of the moon. I feel like you could be getting a lot of downloads for yourself, and that in turn affects you, how you behave, how you speak, how you think, and your motivation. And in turn, I feel like that is very healing in other people. Also, I feel like some of you guys could be speaking out. I said this was not going to be deep. Here we are 10 minutes into it, sorry. But you guys could be speaking out about the whole human trafficking, about even things that have been set up is, you know, that have this facade for being good companies and run specifically to save children or protect them, and they are doing the opposite on the back end of it. And you know, and I do believe, by the way, that the forefront of these people, the people in the front line, the frontliners don't know. I feel like they have no clue, a lot of them. But the people, you know, on the back end of it definitely do know. Anyways, I digress. So you could be speaking out about that. You could be a survivor of sex trafficking yourself, things like that. But whatever it is, I feel like you're incredibly stable, and I feel like you are just done with that whole thing, and you're speaking your truth, and good for you. Okay. With that, I do have the King of Pentacles. I have here, you might have somebody, because this king is like, they're so cute. I'm gonna put this over here. It's almost like this king is like, hey queen, you're incredibly beautiful, and I really like you. They're coming from a whole different place, and I feel like it's a little bit like methodical, strategic. I feel like this person maybe has not endured anything like what you have, but they might have knowledge or be privy to some information that you have undergone. Yep, look at this. So they know that you've been through some deep, dark stuff. Maybe not exactly what it is, but they know that you've suffered a lot through this heartache. And I feel like that's why they are taking very slow paces towards you. Once again, I did not think this was going to be a love reading. That's, I just wanted something light. And here we are again. You're welcome. Pile number 2. Nope. Pile number 3. So sorry. Maybe you have a message in pile number 2, right? But I definitely feel like this king is looking at you like they want to invest. And it's like, well, is it safe to really approach? And I definitely feel like you are kind of calming this. This is the energy that you're leaving, that you're not going to be, you're like, oh, wow, I'm aware that maybe I was intimidating, or I come out like hyper aggressive and I don't mean to. That's just kind of my personality type thing. And with the 8 of Pentacles, this is saying that you're going to be working on this. Look, even this panda bear's like, me intimidating, like I didn't mean that, so sorry. You know, it's very cute energy, and I think that you're entering a phase into things that are going to be so much better for you, so much, I heard, lighthearted. And I think that, you know, obviously you need that, right? We're going to look at this other card. So earlier I was talking, and we spoke about like Medusa and being like the truth speaker. You could be the truth speaker in your family. You could be the truth speaker in your community. I feel like even with this truth, this beautiful goddess is somebody who has taken a lot of time to self-reflect. I mean, there's 2 of her, right? And she knows, and she's aware of her shadow side, and maybe it's like hyper-aggression, or I heard balls to the wall. Sorry, just got to be really real. I'm going to repeat most of what I hear just because that's how we do here. But I'm going to say that, you know, all of these things are serving a greater purpose. And now I feel like you're entering an era where it's a lot more peaceful, a lot more calm, a lot more beautiful. Things are growing abundantly around you. And I feel like, you know, if this is a real image, and I'm hearing as above, so below. So you could be somebody who really believes in that. But if this is like the one image, even that in itself is beautiful. And I feel like you're finding comfort in maybe even solitude, comfort in being in a peaceful area. Like, currently I'm living in the woods and I love it. I just am so grateful to be here. And you could be really connected to Mother Earth. I feel like even here, this is almost like a flask of, I don't know, incredible water flask of truth, maybe even, but you are somebody who is maybe speaking your truth or expressing your truth now creatively, and not so much like wanting to come with war. Now I just flicked all these cards with my ring. So, oh, okay. Queen of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Yeah. Oh, look at this. So Queen of Wands, I feel like even if you speak in your truth, I feel like Queen of Wands is a mover and a shaker, right? And a candlestick maker. And look at all of this sunshine around you. So I feel like you could have a really good reputation. You could be moving and shaking. You could have different businesses also. And you could even, some way, somehow, like wind up, you know, having a business that addresses these situations, or that is for people that have undergone heavy things like this as well. But I do feel like you could have a lot of stress, like anxiety regarding that. Speaking your truth, anxiety regarding speaking your truth. And this could even be stating that it's like, look, you're divinely held, you know. This could be you trying to speak your truth and feeling like things are going to grab you. You could have a hard time sleeping in the middle of the night, because that's when kind of things get quiet, in your connection to the moon and things like that. With the High Priestess here, you know, you could see things from the other side quite easily. So you could have nightmares even. And I feel like there's a need for you to protect yourself, protect your psyche, protect your mind, body, heart, and soul at this point in time, from even people sending you like bad energy. So you might just, you know, want to say a prayer for that if that is your jam. Before nighttime. But part of this has to do with speaking your truth. And I feel like this is even stating, well, you know, the repercussions of this are astronomical, and who knows how that's going to shake out, and who knows indeed. But I do feel like there's a great need for it. You are divinely supported. And look, the Ten of Cups here. So I feel like even you have family, even family of choice, or, you know, family in general, biological family, that is going to be supporting you. Now, for others of you, I just saw the Five of Wands right here. This is a fighting card. I feel like you just really need to trust yourself, and do take a moment to reflect, but also know that everything in your life is doubled. When you speak your truth, you have that creative energy, that womb energy. I'm getting that, like, not only High Priestess, but Empress. I feel like things can, like I said before, turn into a money-making endeavor, like, by accident, okay? But you could be somebody who's like, you know, I really want to give to other people that have undergone and things like this. So maybe you start collaborating with your local chapter to, you know, help people that have been in, you know, like domestic violence or things like that, survivors. Excuse me. But I feel like, you know, if you take some time and listen to what it is that gives you passion, and also wearing oranges and orange and yellow, it's going to be really helpful for you currently. So you could even program clothing or anything around you. I totally believe in this stuff. So, you know, I'm a weirdo if you've been here at all. But you can actually grab the garment, for example, like this right here. This is like a turquoise color. And this morning I programmed it for myself before I put it on because it was kind of chilly. And I just said, okay, whenever I look at this, I just think like I have an open heart, open mind, and I speak fluidly and I speak confidently, whatever my truth is, or whatever it is that you want to remember. But all of these colors are so incredibly riveting. Like, I love orange, by the way. So yeah, you could really benefit from that as well. What else do we have to look forward to, please? Speaking your truth. Why are these cards here? The Nine of Pentacles. What's up? I think I saw you in pile one. If you feel led to, you can head over that way. But this is enjoying the fruits of your labor. This is enjoying yourself while you create. This is enjoying what you have. It doesn't have to be like, you know, a 20-room mansion with 5 bathrooms and all of that stuff. This could be just enjoying the comforts of being out in nature, you know, having like a campfire going and things like that. This is just enjoying the fruits of your labor, or whatever that means to you. And having the ability to welcome in people if you want to, enjoying your solitude if you wish, or keeping people out of your space as you please, right? So I love that for you. And I think that that is, you know, where you are headed if you don't feel exactly right there. Now, also, this could allude to people thinking that you're like high maintenance and things like that, but we don't care what people think. You just want to really be true and be your most authentic self, right? Let's visit this King of Pentacles because he caught my eye again. It's almost like, what about me? Okay. What about this King of Pentacles? Why is he, she in this reading? We read energy, not sex. With the Judgment and the Tower. Okay, so maybe this King of Pentacles is kind of like, well, I want to come towards you, but you're speaking a lot of truth. That's really heavy stuff. And they're a little bit kind of freaked out or blindsided, right? Because this panda can only see out of one eye, presumably, or they could actually, this can cause this person who I feel like really cares about you or is looking towards you in a romantic way, that wants to maybe invest in you, like time, energy, effort, or they consider you family. Doesn't have to be romantic. I feel like they're just making a judgment. They're learning more about you. And I feel like this can make them snap, whether in like a protective mode, like where they feel like they're just protective and they had a little bit of knowledge about you, but then all of a sudden, like they got pushed to the edge with that. So we'll look at that in a moment. But I feel like also this is, you know, making a judgment, and this person is maybe even like, yeah, changing everything in order to pull the trigger on something. Where are these cards here? Why is the King of Pentacles here? About here, the Four of Cups. Okay, so this could be like an opportunity missed. This could be like, oh my gosh, I missed an opportunity. This could be, if this is somebody from the past, this could be saying like, I can't believe that this is the whole reason why. That explains so much. We never actually had super deep conversations, or just simply they got hit in the face with the reality of whatever it is that kind of kept them at bay, or you at bay. King of Wands, yeah. And this can even be like another person coming forward wanting to speak to you. But this sacral chakra right here, that is what it's addressing. That's a part that I was missing. And this talks about, you know, having great sex, enjoying great food. Sensuality could be holding hands even, or it could be massage, it could be whatever. It's just really enjoying your senses, whatever that means to you. And you could have like two competitors, like a King of Wands right here, along with a King of Pentacles, ready to speak with you, or that they're attracted and drawn to you. Look with the Chariot. Yeah, you might have two people vying for your attention. Even if you are partnered with somebody else, I feel like these other people like want to come towards you quickly. With the Chariot, this can indicate somebody just jumping in their vehicle, whatever that looks like, whether it's a motorcycle or a regular car or even a plane. And this is just, you know what, I'm done, let's go. And look at all of the colors flying from these like wings almost. So it almost appears like this person's like, okay, things are kind of cloudy, I have some doubt, but I'm just going to go for it and we'll see. We will see. And I heard bad to the bone. That's funny. There's people, yeah, these two people might think that maybe you are bad to the bone, or they're trying to give themselves a pep talk like, I'm bad to the bone, let's go. Let's go with this, right? What is up with you? Look, I have the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you guys are single. It's going to have to be a love reading, I guess. I don't know what this is, but look at this. Okay, so now we have a pink lotus right here. And this is in the Holy Grail cup, right? And this is no mud, no lotus. And I feel like people are starting to understand more about who you are. And they're not necessarily looking at the RBF face anymore. They are starting to understand that the reason why maybe you come across that way sometimes is because you're just being self-protective, because you've had a lot to endure, and it's a coping mechanism, right? But I feel like here with the King of Cups, they're like, wow, I didn't realize, or I've always kind of had feelings for you, or you struck my fancy, whatever the case may be. I mean, look at her. She is incredibly beautiful, gorgeous, stable. I feel like self-sufficient, very deep, very caring. I feel like whatever she touches, she's grateful for, and it grows, right? Don't be leading dirty thoughts here. Pile number 3. That's not where we're headed, but, you know, it can go there. Yeah. And so for other people, I feel like they're saying, okay, well, now other people could be feeling like betrayed or like crushed or in victimhood because you've kind of moved on. You are speaking your truth. And in speaking your truth, people could feel like you're throwing them under the bus, which how ironic is that, right? When awful things are done to a person, or they're, you know, or it's allowed, or you turned a blind eye, or took no responsibility, or whatever the case may be, because this is not being able to look at themselves. They start feeling the victim. So you could have energies from the past going, you're speaking your truth, but oh, boo-hoo me, you know, I didn't know, or I'm so, you know, I tried everything, or I don't know, whatever it is, but they're not looking in the mirror. The mirror's broken. Looks like they dropped it, or it fell, or whatever the case may be. But they are not having it. There is no accountability or responsibility in that. But fear not, pile number 3, you have people that support you. 3 of Pentacles are, yeah, once again, cooperation, collaboration with all this pink right here. And the pink lotus is just an acknowledgement. I feel like it's somebody even like you, that they endured a lot of hardship or dark things, and you can actually speak the same lingo without having to give all these disclaimers like, look, this is kind of really tough or really deep, and you could feel like it's a bit much for a lot of people, and therefore you don't even want to kind of, you know, talk about it with anybody. But some people I feel like could understand it. But whatever it is, I feel like with the 3 of Pentacles, you're really working. You're working on speaking your truth, working on collaborating with other people. And why? You're doing it in the name of love. It's not like, let me sabotage, let me hurt, let me even expose, you know, other people. It's not about that. This is about speaking from a place of strength, a place of truth, about speaking from your experience and being able to even share like how you've overcome or what you're currently overcoming in a way that is filled with love. Because this collaboration and this support and this like, wow, you dropped that cog, let me help you. I grabbed it. Hey, do you need some help lifting it? Do you need this pulley, that pulley? What do you need to be more comfortable? That kind of a thing. So each cog is working in order for not only like a better cause, a creativity, an endeavor, yeah, but in order for people to see things from a different perspective as well. And this is all about love. I feel like part of your joy and what is actually your sacral chakra, even though it's more about sensuality, sexuality, right, is about looking at things from a different perspective. It is... I can't say that on YouTube. I'm trying not to have like these dirty things. I'm not going to repeat them. Okay, moving on. Use your imagination, but I'm going to say that these are little sparks in order to give other people hope, give other people like an ability to see a way out, to see a way through. Okay, if it's not a way out, then definitely a way through. But I feel like a lot is transmuting, a lot is changing around you and for you, and with you throwing in your lot to like even cooperate energetically, whatever this is. I feel like as long as it's a labor of love, it is going to produce so much more than what you think and what you thought. So keep your balance, keep your wits about you, and know that, you know, everything has a season and a reason. Yeah, so you might be sitting in some emotion right now, and it might be like, hey, a seed of emotion just for one, but I feel like that's changing because you have people coming to help. Right now, I feel like you're even moving. The first move might be like a platonic move, where you have people collaborating and cooperating with you on some kind of a project that is going to help. I feel like a multitude, not only you healing yourself and coming from this stance of like aggressiveness or defensiveness or seeming that way, but also of healing. With the Temperance, this is a card of healing actually, and with all this lush background, I feel like that is echoed with the abundance and vegetation. So give yourself a really big warm hug. I'm sending you a lot of love, a lot of encouragement. If you like these kind of readings, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Sorry it's so long once again, but here we are. And much love until next time, pile number 3. Namaste.